car. It's been a pretty big storyline.
Doing a mic check. Yeah, everything seems to be good. We're going to have to make this quick because I don't know if we're going to be able to keep Brad. We have to make sure that's why he's in the middle, because we got the outlaw race on the TV, so he can't leave. Because he's
Brad,
going
be
to be
honest. Would you rather be watching the outlaw race right now?
I mean, if I can do both at the same time, I'm fine. Yeah, I pulled it up on my phone if we didn't have it up there.
We like to never got him here. He was at home watching it on the TV.
Oh.
But anyway, so yeah, we got the World of Outlaws going on here in the background. So if we catch us staring off, it's probably because we're seeing something interesting. We were just talking about the heat races. By the time I got in here and turned it on, it was heat race 3. I watched the end of qualifying, so I missed the first 2 heats coming up here. And I saw Donnie started 4th and took the lead, and then he broke. But I don't know. Did you know why he broke? I missed it.
I mean, the way it is there right now, the way they got the conditions, it's really hard on engines.
Yeah.
And that joint's really hard on rear ends. I know the first weekend, Donnie said he'd think they went through 3 rear ends while they were there.
Golly.
And see, their rear end broke again, or they broke a motor, and never did. Of course, they hadn't went in the pits at that time when I left. So
is he running winners, or do we?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Everybody runs a winners.
Yeah,
it wouldn't happen if they had a DMI American made, and that may be what they're running. I don't know.
Yes.
We never had issues out of our DMI stuff.
But as I listened to, there was some podcast he did with a buddy last week, and he said that they had a bunch of rear end troubles while they were there at Volusia the first week that they went there.
Yeah.
But talked about how fast he was, and of course this track's slowing down tonight. Last night he was super fast and hooked up, and he was being Donnie there in that heat race. So a couple big storylines already happened so far. The other one was Kofoid. He had Gravel outside of the dash, well then he broke, so now Gravel's in the dash, and Buddy Kofoid will be in the B main. So that's something to watch, because that points battle is going to be super tight all year long. Yeah. And now Gravel will go up here and pull the 1 here.
Probably.
He's pulling and then
right
just stink the show up.
He pulled the 1.
He just pulled the 1. So now Buddy Kofoid's night is getting even worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he'll have to dig himself. The only good thing is he was one of the quicker cars, so he'll be on the front row of the B. So he can, check out and do all that.
Where did he qualify?
He was second, I think he was second. I think he was quickest. Second or third. He was in the top 5. I don't remember where exactly.
I was sitting there. So I'm getting kind of worried because Spencer, last night, Spencer was sitting with me on the couch and was watching the Outlaw race with me. Well, the factory stocks were out there on the racetrack. And he was all into it. He was calling out the numbers of the cars and just, all into it. And that's really the first time he's done that, like, for real. And actually sat there and watched, like, the whole race. Usually he'll watch 2 or 3 laps and then he's done. He'll go grab his race cars and start playing, but last night he sat there and he had my phone in his lap. He sat there and he was just like, oh, number 51, number 01, and just kept sitting there. It was like, oh, he wrecked. He spun out. And he was all into it. And
maybe he liked it because they did have a bunch of wrecks, so maybe that's why he got into it.
It was kind of funny. He sat there and watched the number 5 break or whatever, or get wrecked. And he's like, where's number 5? I said, he broke. He got hauled off the racetrack. And then they'd race a few more laps. Where's number 5? Like, he's done, dude. He's gone. He ain't out there no more. But he was all in. And the factory stock race was actually pretty good. Did you watch it at all?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I didn't see. I wasn't.
They were pretty good. What are you talking about?
They were side by side for the lead. Just 10, 15 laps.
Yeah,
they were putting on a pretty good
race. For some reason, I always looked up when the wrecks were happening or whatever, but I didn't see much of the race.
It really wasn't that bad. Any problems they had, just 2 guys spun out on their own. But really, there wasn't just like a full-blown wreck. But track's so big, they had a lot of room between them. It's not like it's tight quarters or anything, but it actually wasn't too bad. But yeah, Bo, you'll be proud because Spencer loves the factory stocks. So
taking after his uncle.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, you had a race weekend. Finally, we get to talk about somebody's race.
Yeah, we finally raced. Yeah, we did. We went down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, at the Hattiesburg Speedway. We did Friday and Saturday night. We got down there Friday. They got a big rain on Thursday night down there. And so when we got there, they were still kind of working the track because they had to get pits and everything else ready for us to get in there. So we got there. We probably got there like 5:30ish or so, and they were still kind of maneuvering the track in and stuff. It rolled in really nice. It wasn't terrible or nothing, but it was just super hooked up all night long. I mean, it got a big cushion on it, but that joint's already really small. Like you ever see those tracks in Australia, how they're all narrow and small? Like it's very similar to an Australian track. The straightaways are real narrowed up, and it's pretty hard to pass on already. And then you narrow it up with a big cushion, and it just carries so much speed that the bottom is pretty much impossible to keep up with. You just got to go up there and rip around it. So we got there, and I think I drew like a 50 or so, and that put us on the second row outside of the heat race. And then our heat race had Cody Gardner on the pole, Zane Duvall on the outside, Riley Goodnow to my inside. Yeah. So, starting off real prime right there. We go take.
They look at you and think the same thing.
I mean, remember? I guess maybe I don't ever think of it that way. I'm like, oh damn, look at that, and
see, so people are gonna watch this and they're gonna know that. So I'm already in that guy's head. See,
yeah. And so we go take the green, and like I don't know, I was pretty close to where the cushion was, and then I kind of hit the gas. I kind of got up in it, and it picked the nose up, and I like come down the track. I look like I'd never driven before. So I got a terrible start in the heat, and we got ironed out, and it stretched out. They'd gotten away, and we were just kind of ripping around laps around the top the whole heat. So went fourth to fourth. And like the way that track is, especially 3 and 4 is pretty even, like bottom to top, the banking and stuff. And it's pretty even all the way around. Like 1 and 2, you kind of go uphill, and then you drive downhill, and then it kind of exits, you go back uphill again. So 1 and 2 is really hard to pass because it's the bottom on exit, you're going uphill. Well, you don't have all that momentum. So the top, you're going fast, or you're just going uphill faster, basically.
Yeah.
And so, the cushion's narrow, it's way down the track. And so we're just ripping laps around the top. And so, dash goes out, same thing, just ripping laps around the top. And so we go out for the feature, and we started 12th in the main. And I'm always at that track, especially in 1 and 2, I'd always have an issue just hanging real bad. Like I just feel like my car is down, and I watch everybody else, and it looks like they're kind of doing the same as me, but they drive off harder than I do. So I was afraid to really free up like I normally would at Riverside, because I was afraid I would just hang and just be out to lunch. And so I kept the car a little tighter than what I normally would with something with a big cushion and stuff like that. And then so we take the green, and I can't see anything for 3 laps. It's just pulling tear offs. And I'm getting bumped, and car about hits the wall in front of me. I let off. I get nailed in the sides like a damn pinball. And I'm pulling tear offs and getting pinballed around. I'm back to like 14th at this point. And so we have a caution, and it ends up being like the second, third, and fourth place car all tangled and gotten together. So, it picks us up a couple spots to like 11th, I think. And so we take the green, and everybody goes to top, and I just try to roll the bottom. Well, the car in front of me just tried to slide the other one. So he kind of killed his momentum, and I just kind of went down and nailed the bottom pretty good and passed a couple and got up to 7th. And then 6th was just blasting me, and I missed the corner, and then they all got back by me again, and I got pinballed out of the way again. And Cody Gardner, he'd had to go to the back, and he comes ripping by me on the top, just 150 miles an hour. And he gets to a guy named the Canadian guy, Tyler Powerless, and he comes around him, and they get really close. I don't think they actually touch, but he got really close. And then Cody just goes in, like I'm right behind him. Cody goes in the corner. And that kid, he just drove straight across the track and hit Cody. They both flip over the fence. Luckily, somehow nobody got killed because the track is everybody just stands on the fence.
Yeah.
They have these wooden towers on the back straightaway that takes up basically the whole back straightaway, and they're the same height as the fence. So if anybody ever jumps a right rear and goes over their little bitty fence, they're coming in them little wooden towers. Well, the stands are really small too, so if you don't get there early, it basically is standing room only. So people are standing all along the fence line right there. Luckily, they were all able to run and escape out of the way because they both flipped through the fence and tore it down, of course. And And so it was. I mean, it was a really
I
bad.
didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, it was a really bad move. Like, cause he didn't even try to pass him. He just dove straight for him. And Cody, I talked to Cody the next day. He said I never even. He said next thing I knew I was flipping. He's like I set the car in the middle of the corner. Next thing I knew I was biked up and flipping. He's like I didn't even know what happened.
That's a terrible.
And
feeling. That's a terrible feeling.
And so yeah, that gave. I think I'd fallen back to like 12th at that point again, and that gave me a couple spots. And so it just and I tried to rip the cushion at the end, and we had a red then, and I just was like, all right, we were like 7th, I think, at the time. So I was like, if he goes to the bottom, I'm just going to try to rip it as hard as I can. Or I was 8th at the time, and he went to the bottom, so I just tried to rip it. It felt pretty good, but I had to be wide open to do it. Like I couldn't follow anybody in and do that. I had to be just open track to rip it, and I ripped around him and got to 7th. Was on 6th, and just I kept seeing his nose in 1 and 2, and so I should have known he was ripping the top in 3 and 4, and I kept trying to like block it in 3 and 4, and so he sickled me on the outside coming to the checker, and I ended up finishing 8th. And I don't know, it was the first night out. I was I was rusty, and the track, we were pinballing, people were driving crazy, and like it's like you race different when you like. I've told people like I have a kid now. I had a 2-month-old, and like I'm not gonna go out there and get crazy like that, Especially starting 12th. Like we start 4th or something. Like all right, game on.
Yeah.
But we're back there starting 12th.
The risk ain't worth the reward.
And I'm getting pinballed right off the start. You're just like it really makes you think twice about it, And so. So yeah, the first night, it was 8th. We survived some carnage, got to 8th. I was okay with that. I was upset with myself because I drove like a sissy most of it, but that's kind of is what it is. So, anyways, we always wait to like get there and get a hotel like while we're at the track or after the night because we don't want to get a hotel and something happened the first night and you're scratched for the weekend.
Yeah.
So apparently something big was like going on in Hattiesburg, I guess. And so all the hotels were booked up or they were hiked up a little bit. Well, there was a Days Inn that was close to where we have stayed in the same vicinity. Like they're all right there together. And it's a pretty decent area. It's right down the road from Southern Miss. And so, I mean, it's a pretty clean, little nice area right there. And so it's like, this is the only one, like the reviews were saying some good stuff about it. It was, probably one of the cheaper ones or whatever. So we went ahead and booked it. So we go park, it's full. We walk in the door and you can automatically start seeing signs of you've landed in a good hotel. When you walk through the door and the vending machine, there's nothing in it. There's like stains all on the walls and stuff. And you walk through the other door and you see the hallways, and the hallways are like beat up, the paint scratched up and all this stuff.
Welcome
and so
Days Inn.
Yeah. And so we walk in the room, and so me and my parents are the only ones that went. Kim and baby stayed home. Wow. So we just got a room or whatever. And so we walk in, and I walk over to where the air conditioner is. I'm going to turn it on. I'll see a little creature crawling around on the air conditioner. I was like, oh, that's not a good sign. She's like, what? I was like, there's a roach crawling over here. So I pull the curtain back. There's 2 more roaches crawling behind the curtain. So I'm like, oh, great. So I was like, we got a roach hotel right here. And so we just, so like I kind of smashed them, killed them or whatever, and we throw them down or whatever. And so we sit down. I sit down on the bed, I sit down on the bed, and we had stopped at the Love's and like got some food or whatever. We're eating some food, and like there's an entertainment center, got the TV on it. Yeah. So we probably pile up wallets or whatever right there. And my dad like threw a bag of chips up there and stuff, and I'm sitting there eating, and then all of a sudden I see another little creature come walking out on the entertainment center there. There's another cockroach come out. So I was like, oh, there's another one. Then about that time, another one come crawling out. It's like, oh, there's another one. About that time, another one. I was like, oh, there's 3 up here now. Awesome. So we kill those 3. And I'm like, this is not a good sign. They're back over here somewhere. So like there's a little garbage can sitting down next to that entertainment center. And it has a bag in it. And I can see under the bag that there is multiple cockroaches crawling around under this plastic bag that's in this garbage can. I was like, oh my God, it was a lot of them in there. So we took that garbage can and just set it at the end of the hallway, like away from the room. And still, they just kind of kept coming out a little bit. 1 or 2 of them would come out. Like I opened the drawers. They weren't in the drawers. I guess they were just over behind it or something. They would just like kind of come out and pick their head out, and we'd kill them or whatever. And I get in bed and like I pull the sheet back and
Nope.
there's nothing in the bed. There's like some little stains. It looked like, I don't know what it was. It didn't look. It didn't scare me.
You don't want to know
It
what
didn't
was.
scare me. It didn't
Yeah.
scare. Like I didn't think it was anything nasty. I was like, this was like some detergent they spilled or something. I don't know. But then there's this like behind the table. There's this big red stain going down the wall. Like somebody get killed in here. There's this like red stain. Like it looked like candle wax. Like, but it wasn't thick. It was just like a red candle had leaked down the wall or something. And so like my mom, I mean, I'm sorry I had to tell her this, but she snores like really bad. It's a freaking, I wear earplugs when I sleep in there. I'm not even kidding. I put earplugs in.
Oh no.
And I told her, I said, you better put some tape over your mouth tonight because you're going to be eating roaches if you start snoring tonight. And so
you lost me at roaches.
and so I did leave my shorts on, but I put a hoodie on and I put the hoodie over my head. And that's how I slept that night. And so I wake up, I don't know, probably 7. It's still dark in there. And I pull my phone out, turn the flashlight on so I could go to the bathroom. So I just glanced it up at the entertainment center to see what's going on over there. And there's 2 of them just sitting out, just hanging out on the entertainment center.
Watching.
Just hanging out.
Watching y'all.
Anyways, we get that. And so we wake up, everybody gets up, and there hadn't been many coming out during the day.
I feel like they're crawling on me.
Yeah, it hadn't been really that many that coming out during the day. And so we called, it was like, can we get we just want to get our money back or what can we do? They're like, well, we can, my mom said, do y'all have roach problem? She's like, well, of course they're going to say, well, no, or well, there's a little bit of problems upstairs, but downstairs we don't have any problems. And so she's like, well, okay, well, can we change rooms? And they're like, yeah, well, we can change rooms. So she went down and toured 2 of the rooms downstairs. And one of them smelled like cigarette smoke. I guess they've been smoking up in there. Yeah. And the other one's like
what
pretty.
Is this, 2001?
So the other one's pretty clean. So she's like, okay, we'll take
Mississippi. So real
yeah. So she's like, all right, we'll take this one. So she's like, it's clean. I looked. The TV didn't work. That was the only thing. The TV. I was like, I don't really give it in. But we're not going to be here long enough to matter.
So
Who
you
cares?
got your phones now anyway. Who cares?
Like, just give me something semi-clean here. So we walk in, and it looks pretty clean. Like the sheets and stuff still look, they got this weird stuff on them. And so I go walk over by the air conditioner again. And I look over on the side of it, and it's dead at least. I guess they'd sprayed this room maybe. It is the biggest cockroach I've ever seen in my life. And it's dead at least in the corner. I look over behind this chair. There's a massive brown recluse that it's also dead. So I guess they did spray this room at least. And and supposedly they were on the radio like, yeah, block off room. We were at 217. Block off 217. Don't let anybody come in that room. It's full of roaches. And so that room, I never did see any roaches come walking out of the other room that we got into. So we got all that took till it's about 12:30 or 1 o'clock or so. We got swapped out, did all that stuff. And so we're going to go eat and then go to the track. So we walk out in the parking lot. And we're parked over here, and probably 5 or 6 spots down. There's it's like a white Jeep Grand Cherokee or whatever. Doesn't really matter. But the door's open, and this fella is in it, and he's like this right here. Oh my God, this guy's dead. And so I'm just standing there. I'm like, do I go over there? I'm just standing there.
Way more interesting than the race. I'm
standing there. I'm standing there looking. I'm like, man, if I drive off and don't check on this guy, like I'm gonna feel really bad. So I ease up there to him. I don't want to startle him. I ease up. I'm like, hey brother, you all right? You good? And he like slowly lifts his head up. He's got drool just coming down onto his chest, no shirt on, knife sitting on this end, and he has something sitting over here. But I didn't lean in far enough to see what he had sitting over here. It wasn't a gun, but it was something. I don't know if it was what he was using or what, but he just had drool, and he's like, he couldn't even talk. He's like, gave me this half thumbs up. And I was like,
you tried to sleep in 218, but he went out to the car. He was just
I was like,
delirium. That's all.
And I was like, well, I said, you need anything? You good? He's like, no, I'm fine. He's fine. He sputtered that out. Well, then we walk off, get in the car. He starts like stretching like he's good. Like, oh man, just really sleepy. Mm-hmm. And my mom said something about, maybe he just slept in that car last night. I was like, he had all of the signs of heroin or whatever from passing out. That was all the signs right there. I was like, so then we got back yeah, we came back and we were going to grab our stuff and then go. We just ate right down the road. And my dad was like, "He's still here." I said, "He probably lives here." I mean, that just tells you what kind of establishment we're staying at right now. And so yeah, we stayed. We gathered up our stuff, went to the track, and so anyways, that was the extracurriculars. All the
Golly.
story time we'll tell 10 years from now. And so we went to the track for the next night, and we drew for the pole for the heat race. Saturday night, which is much better start, and so the track was a lot slicker too, which normally it does. It usually gets slick, takes rubber, and that's just what it does most of the time. Unless it rains the night before or rains 2 days before, then you get Friday night's deal.
Yeah. And typically the second night's usually slicker than the first.
Yeah.
Anyway, about anywhere you go anyway.
So we rolled out for hot laps and autumn. And Tony did some changes. That I made some changes to the car. I just want you to go out there and try it. I said, okay, well then don't tell me what you did because I don't want to know. I'm just better that way. Like when I crew chief myself, I don't like the first 2 laps, I fill it out. But when somebody else sets it up, I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Like, the less I know, the better I am. So I was like, well then don't tell me what you did. I don't want to know. We'll just go out there. And we went out there and it felt pretty good. It was a little bit free, but we didn't expect it to be quite as dry as it was in hot laps right off the bat.
Yeah.
And so we, made some changes for the heat. Started on the pole. We had Riley Goodnow on the front row with us, so you had to get a good start there. You got to get going. So we got a good start, got a good launch, and was able to win the heat. Felt pretty good in the heat, and we got into the dash, and we ended up drawing 3. Started third in the dash. Got another good launch in the dash. Like it was Cody Gardner and Zane DeVault on the front row, and I was up there with him. I was like to the left front. He kind of like squeezed it down, so we both kind of drifted up the track. And Davey Franick got up underneath me, and we went to 3 and 4. And I drove back under him and ended up pulling away from him, finishing third. So I felt pretty good about that. Like Davey Franick's won a couple of races down there, and so I felt like we were pretty good. We were pretty good. We were right there with Cody and Zane. And so we rolled off third for the feature, and I got another good launch on the start. I was right there with Zane. I probably should have, looking back, maybe should have just tried to get up to the top because I should have known he was going to chop it down because he didn't get a good start. And so I kind of stayed with him, and I had to break it and try to hit the bottom. And Franick sickled us both on the top while we did that. And so me and Zane I had a good run down the back stretch and kind of chopped it off a little bit. And I had to turn the bottom again and went down and then I didn't feel like I had a good run. So I tried to cut the corner, let it slide up. And there was one little rut down in 1 and 2, and I biked up on it, and Terry was able to drive under me. So that put me back to 5th. And then it took rubber about 5 laps into it. Mm-hmm. And so we all just kind of, rode there for the rest of the race. And kind of got close. I stayed with Terry most of the race, and traffic. You had some opportunities, but it was just hard to pass at that point. And so, so we ended with a top 5. I was happy with. Ended much better than we did ended much better on the second day we did the first day.
Drama.
Yeah, and so it was a lot less stressful of a day. I mean, it's easy. It's nicer to start up front, and so, so yeah, I was happy with the top 5, which. That motor we took, our new one isn't ready yet. So we took the one we finished the year with. So it ended up this was night 35 on it. So
Nice.
So yeah, it was night 35 on it, on that motor to end the season, and it was getting hot. It was blowing smoke, like where the hood wraps around the chassis. It was blowing smoke out of it, and I was like,
It's saying, please stop.
yeah. And so I couldn't tell because. I couldn't tell if it was oil coming onto the header and blowing up that way, or if it was actually water coming out of there and smoking up. So I didn't know which one it was. And so I went ahead and finished it. But when we stopped, it definitely was billowing, smoke. But it kind of did it after the dash too. It kind of boiled up like that. But anyway, I mean, it finished the race. And so now we can take that out. It was a really good running motor. He bought it for $8,000 and put Dragon Claws on it and did some stuff to the cam. That thing freaking ripped it ripped good. That's the motor we took to Creek County and set quick time with the ASCS race. That thing ripped. So we're gonna pull that one out and get it freshened up and we'll see. Hopefully, our motor will get ready because 2 weeks from now there's a 2-day show in Alabama.
I was going, is that the next one?
Yeah, we'd like to try to hit. So hopefully we can get some sort of motor together for that and be able to go run that.
Is it
So
USCS race?
yeah,
or
yeah,
is it
it's going to
USCS?
be Tuscumbia and that Extreme Speedway that they just reopened last year in Moulton, Alabama. So that's going to be our next one. They're racing down in Loxley this coming up weekend, but I mean, hell, that's like a 7-hour trip
and,
down there.
And that, and then your car will come back orange as that
Yeah,
Hot Shield's
yeah,
car.
it's a
and
very-
you'll never get it
Very,
clean.
very sandy joint down
Yeah.
there for sure, and it's big, so it's hard on motors
Yep.
anyways. And so
I ain't got a lot of banking in it still, I imagine.
yeah, they put a little more in it over this off season. That they did a lot of work to it, kind of widened it out, and
Did they
put a
put-
little banking to
Did
try
they
to
put a
help
wall
it.
around it?
I think they put an inside wall. I think is what he said.
Well, it seemed like I remember watching.
Well, they did. Yeah, there is a wall around it now. Yeah, so you
I
saw.
was about to say, 'cause I watched it sometime last year, and I remember thinking, that's not a lot.
Yeah,
It looks a lot
they
different.
flattened. They used to be super banked. They flattened it all out. It was still
Okay.
really big, but they kind of put some more banking back into it. But it's still really sandy, and
Yeah.
your stuff comes back with grit all in it. But yeah, that's their next one. We're going to try to make it, or hopefully we can get something together for the 2-day Alabama swing there. So that's our plan.
Well, that's a lot to unpack.
Oh, one more story.
Okay.
This is a funny story. I'll just tell you. So on the way home, my mom. So I told him, I was like, listen, it's like 6 o'clock. I'm waking up and we're gonna be rolling by 7. It's like I'm getting home to my baby and my wife. Like, so I don't want to hear nothing about it. Get up, we're rolling. So my mom, she just slept in her clothes and stuff, and she woke up, popped up, but she just got in the back and went to sleep. And so she's been back there asleep the whole trip. We're probably about an hour from home, and we're just riding. Me and Dad are just chatting, and all of a sudden, I hear "Just go by yourself, then." Turn around, like what? And she's still dead asleep. I told my dad, I was like, damn, I was like, she gets on your ass even when you're asleep.
You're not gonna be allowed to go back into Mississippi after telling all this stuff on Pat.
Just go by yourself then. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
That, all right, well, I'll tell one on Dad. Dad apparently was asleep. It's been years ago. Mama, we still talk about this sometimes, but Mama said that he was in bed asleep one night. I think she was over there reading or something, and he said, I don't know yet much money. We'll just see about that.
Oh,
We'll
man.
still talk about that every once in a while. But yeah, that's a lot to unpack. But I kind of have my own little story. And people may not care about this stuff. I don't know. We're just kind of doing our own thing here. But I got a pretty funny little hotel story too. It was actually you've never been to Wheatland with us, Wheatland, Missouri. It's Lucas Oil Speedway, and real nice racetrack. Well, the problem with Wheatland though is it's in the middle of nowhere. Okay, there's nothing around, and the only thing they have is a bunch of cabins. Okay, well, I think we had rented this cabin like 3 or 4 months in advance. Like we knew we were going to this race. And at the time, we had a dually in our little gooseneck trailer we had at the time, and so we didn't have a toter home to stay in. So we had that cabin we was gonna stay in. Looked real nice in the photo.
Yeah.
Okay, right there on the water, everything. Looked real cool. And we went and ran the race. We did not go to this cabin before the race. Okay, we said we'll just go after. So we go run the race. I don't even remember how we did. I think that's actually the night that me and Jason Johnson were racing like through the field together. And I think that's the night we finished 8th at the national race. But anyway, whatever. And so we had a good night. We're headed back to the cabin. Everybody's kind of hunky dory. We pulled up, and y'all two know my great Pyrenees, Bo. And anyway, we pulled up, and there's a dog that looks just like him. Big old dog wandering around, and there's a sign that says cabins. It was wood, and somebody had painted it and said that way. And I couldn't get the truck and the trailer on this road back toward where the cabins were because all the trees and everything. It's a big old dog out there wandering around, a bunch of cabins sitting right here. And it didn't look very nice. Just on the outside. We walked in, the smell of mold was awful.
Oh yeah.
And there was that it was white dog hair all over everything.
Oh man.
I think the dog had been staying in his house. Okay, pretty clear that this was his cabin, and he was probably mad at us because we took his house for the night. We walked in, and then Mom's, well, I'm gonna go take a shower. She goes in there and turns the shower on. It's just rusty water running out for probably a solid 10 minutes. And I don't think any of us wound up sleeping in the beds. I don't even remember where I slept. I probably went to the truck.
Yeah.
I think Dad may have slept on the couch or something. I don't remember where we all ended up. But after that weekend, we wound up with a toter home. That was the last time we stayed at a hotel going to a race. But anyway, I just had to tell that story.
Yeah.
But back to the race. So I tried to keep up with you both nights. This is I wanted to have a little rant about this. So for years, I can't watch USCS races. Nobody can.
Yeah.
And the only thing that we have to rely on is if Brad Bowden Racing page goes live, or like Dale Howard, Taylor's really good.
I saw Dale was live Friday night. Saturday night.
Taylor's really good about going live on that page. And AG.
There was somebody else that was on that had a
AG.
live stream too.
Yeah.
AG had one. I don't know. I'm probably Madison's Jordan's wife.
Yeah.
I would imagine Madison.
She was
or
live, yeah.
Mom, or Jordan's mom. One of the two. Those are usually the typical three that go live. If Chase Howard's around, usually one of them will do it. But they weren't there. And so the only one that was live was Dale. So both, you know how it is. They're obviously going to watch their car.
Yeah.
And stream their car. I'm trying to watch. I'm like, all right, where's Brad? And I'm counting cars because I can't
Yeah.
keep up. So I'd have to sit there and count cars about every other lap just to see about where you were. And then I'd watch a little bit. Well, something happened to Dale, night number one, and the live quit. Dale was out of the race. They just cut it off.
So live was over.
And I'm like, crap, So then the second night, sure enough, we're watching the race. I'm counting cars. Okay, yeah, there he is. And then I watch a little longer, and Dale comes around real slow. He's off the pace, goes off racetrack live, gets cut off. I'm like, son of a gun. So I wanted to somebody brought it to my attention. It's like, everybody talks about the Outlaws and High Limit and the NASCAR. Everybody talks about that on their podcast, yada, yada. You need to bring up USCS, ASCS stuff. I don't disagree. I would love to talk more about USCS. But I can't watch it. And the only reason we're able to even talk about it is because you were there.
Yeah.
And you were there and you saw everything and you were able to tell us, but I can't report on something I can't see.
That's right. And how much was the payout for winning that race, Brad?
I think it was 2,000 Friday and 2,500 Saturday, I believe. So
Wow.
Yeah.
that's another discussion we can have too.
We had that discussion last week.
Yeah,
oh,
we
you
had-
weren't here last week.
Yeah, you
I
weren't here,
forgot.
but
That's why I asked that. Was just
But
on-
I mean, I can't report on anything I can't see, and they're terrible about social media. Like I don't see results. I can't.
I saw a
see
local newspaper Saturday morning. I hopped on and you didn't post final results. Maybe it was Sunday. One of the nights you didn't post a final result. So I'm sitting there looking through Facebook, can't find it, can't find it on anybody's page. And finally I come across an article, a local newspaper article, I think is what it was, that had it all written out, and it wasn't. It's actually hilarious because it said, it must have been Saturday night because I think Terry was in front of you Saturday night, right?
Mm,
And you were fifth.
yeah.
Fifth.
fifth.
Yeah, it was Sunday morning. I was reading this thing, and everybody in front of you had like all these accolades along with it. Like first was so and so, second was so and so, this, and this, and this. And I remember Terry's was future Hall of Fame driver
yeah.
Terry Gray,
Huh.
plus some more, and then Brad Bowden.
fifth.
They didn't have.
They didn't even
Farmington-
have fifth.
they
They
didn't-
just had your name on
They
there.
didn't have
Farmington
the
Rookie of
Farmington
the
Rookie of the
Year.
Year on there.
The sixth place driver had accolades behind it. I'm like, what is this crap?
Yeah.
But my thing is, too,
Doing
is
it
you had
dirty.
to actively go find it.
I did. Yeah,
you
I
had
did have
to.
go
You
find
had
it.
to dig deep.
it
to
is
find
on
that.
my race pass if you have my race.
Well, I
pass
know,
already.
but like, I can't see it though. Like
Yeah.
I can sit there and Well, they're swapping positions, but I can't physically see.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
you still have to go. I mean, if I want to know, like when I look at race results, I don't want to just know exactly where you finished. I mean, that's great
yeah, we want to
to
know the
know,
story.
but I want to know
Yeah.
where I like. Okay, he started here, but with my race pass, you have to go in and click on every single name.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, I mean-
he started here and he ended here,
Well,
and then
not
you have to
even
back
that, but
out.
like
Click on the next.
not even that, but I mean everything he described about both nights. If it was somewhere where I could see it, I'd know what he's talking about. But he has to sit here and walk through everything. So,
Yeah.
and I can visualize it then. But I know that there's always that debate of whether to stream or not to stream. But that gum, like if I can't be there, I want to watch it. Well, how am I supposed to be into something I can't watch? I don't actively go looking for my race pass or anything like
Yeah,
that.
didn't
I
happen.
look for your Facebook posts. Is what
That
I look
is, I mean,
for.
that is where USCS kind of loses the boats because they just don't have enough. They don't have their image out there like ASCS, at least now, like on Dirt Vision. So, like, I watched ASCS
Yeah, so if
last
you want to
night.
spend $400 annually, you can also watch ASCS racing.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you also get Knoxville Nationals and
So
all
you
that
get a
other
lot of
stuff, So, yeah, you get a lot of stuff for that.
I'm just a hater. I'll stick to my 185, 185 for the year for Flow. I watch all. If I can't watch a race, I
I
don't
thought it
need
was
to
better
watch
than that, but anyway.
It may
Yeah,
be
it's-
cheaper
it's-
than that. Like
and
maybe
it's
137,
about 185 now.
Is it? Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's like if you're maybe like it's the same with me. If you're not on the big two, like I'm not going out of my way to buy
Well,
any other
That's,
streaming.
that's the way I am. Like there's
platforms.
start to finish, and then like there was Race on Texas, and like I'm not gonna start buying all these different streamings.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll get
watch
like
one race.
like when we ran Power Eye, I got start to finish, so Kim could watch it that night. But then I just canceled the subscription
Yeah.
immediately. So I got $40. You get the whole month for $40, and
And
there's a bunch of stuff.
I hate to
but
be that way,
I ain't
but at the
staying
same
on it.
time, I don't want to pay all that, 7 subscriptions for different
Yes.
things where we went racing. I just don't want to do that,
yeah, it's just
It's a lot.
that's just like that new series that the Pennsylvania starting up, that 40 race deal. They and Lincoln Speedway are like collabed on that, but they're calling it PA Posse TV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I love watching Lincoln when it was on Flow Racing, but I'm
Yeah.
not buying PA Posse TV to watch the Pennsylvania races. Like,
Yeah.
just not going to do it. Like, I can't afford to do 3 freaking streaming services.
Yeah, and they're not cheap either. It's not like it's like $8 a month.
Yeah, I haven't even looked into the PA Posse, but I did see someone complaining about it, saying that if you got every race for that year, which is like 40 something races, that would be $1,000 if you got all 40 of them.
Oh my
Now,
I
are the
hadn't looked-
payouts higher?
I mean, yeah, well, yeah,
Are
they're
they
paying
putting it in the
yeah.
pot because I mean, if I'm
So I
the
guess
part of
that's
me kind of is like I'll meet you in the middle a little bit there.
see, I guess that's some of what.
if it's going towards the
Well,
race.
see, that's what some of it. The PA Posse deal, they started that so they could keep some of the revenue because, like, Flow comes in there, they don't get a chunk of it, or
Yeah.
Dirt Vision comes in, they don't get a chunk of it. So they kind of started their own so they can get that. But like I said, people still just can't afford that. So I don't know if your visibility. Oh damn, Buddy Coppola just broke again.
Sure did on the last chance
And
too.
the other thing.
But yeah, but like so, you just kind of lose your visibility when you do something like that. Like how many people are going to actually buy that
Yeah.
that streaming service?
The other thing about that is I'm going to spend $20 to watch a race on TV. Might as well spend 40 and go watch it in person.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that.
They had some issues with it. Apparently, you couldn't go in there and purchase it. There was something wrong with it, so they actually put it for free on Facebook Live, and the broadcast was really good. I mean, it wasn't like a low end type deal. It was actually pretty legit, and it was a good broadcast. It's still, like I said, I got the big 2, and that's just what I'm sticking with. So.
Yeah. Well, we got kids, man. We can't be going and buying a bunch of
Yeah.
streaming
Oh, I know,
streaming
yeah.
services and stuff. But
And I
What-
got to save my $30 to draw a pill at the
Honestly,
USCS race.
honestly, you kind of said something that maybe I had on my mind when I was wanting to talk about this. PA's having their own little streaming service or whatever. I was just thinking, heck, the night of the Facebook 30 when I stood up there in the flag stand on TikTok, I had a ton of people end up watching that thing before it was over. Just have somebody.
Did you go
sit there on
live the
TikTok.
whole time?
Yeah, I was live the whole
Okay,
time.
good. Don't be shutting the live down quick because your driver has to go to the infield.
Yeah. No, I stayed live the whole time. And I do remember my phone was dying. I had to turn it off. I had a little charger, and I was trying to charge it and hurry, and then I'd turn it back on. That was only because my phone was dying. But like, my advice would be, dadgum, dude, put it live on YouTube like we're doing right now, or TikTok, or just do something
Yeah.
to get some viewers so that we can talk about it, you know.
Or
Or
you can have a YouTube subscription page, and most of those are like $4.99 for the month.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
So would that
Do
be
something
worth
like that.
doing? Bringing that back local, would it be worth doing? You know, if you set up a couple cameras in the corners, I mean, or maybe if you went like at the start finish and directly across the track, start finish went back towards 3 and 4. The one directly across track went to 1 and 2, and you kind of got these overlaid shots and just ran a live stream all a race night, or at least when the race features were going.
yeah.
You think that would help?
I think
Or do
if
you
you
think
just
it would take away from?
Well, I mean,
Well-
we do the podcast on my phone, so like, you know, it's not like it's a $10,000 camera; it's a $10,000 iPhone. But you know, I I don't know why somebody couldn't just have a mic that connects to that phone, just like we have, and go up there and just live stream from the top. Like it wouldn't cost you nothing to do it. Just somebody just take their time to do it.
Or just have somebody in the box calling the race, but have that stream up where you can
Yeah.
where you can watch it
Yeah,
like that.
there's multiple ways.
And
you
it
can do
overlay. I mean, because like with the way we do our mics, you could literally go put the phone in the front yard.
Yeah.
However far the service would reach, you
Yeah.
could go that far away and you could still hear.
Yeah,
perfectly fine.
I just I wish they would do something like that. And like Brad said, if it was $4.99 a month for USC, sure, I'll do that. That's no big deal. $5 a month, yeah, I'll watch it for that. Especially if I know he's going, or you know, I got a lot of buddies that run it, so like I would pay that. And I think that's something they should look into. I think it would help them a lot and give them a lot more exposure. You know,
Do they care? I mean, they're only paying $2,000 to win.
so is
so-
ASCS,
think-
but you know
I
they don't
think-
stream all the small stuff either.
I think Pete is really just concerned if you come to the track and you fill up his grandstands, like that's how he makes his money. So he doesn't. I don't think it's really his priority to get it out to the world anymore. You know,
He
he's
just wants it. Wants
he's like
people there.
75 years old now, so like
Yeah.
he wants you to come to the track, and that's how he'll make his money. So I think his priority, he's not really concerned, you know, if Brandon Hanks can see the race or not. You know,
Well,
that's not
well,
what he's thinking about.
But like I said though, if Brandon Hanks wants to pay $5 to sit at
Oh, I
home
agree. Yeah,
without-
that's another
then
way
he
to.
makes money. That's another butt in the seat, technically.
It's another way he could make money for sure, and I don't think it would take away from his crowd because most of the places he goes to don't ever get sprint cars,
Right.
so they're gonna come.
Yeah.
Because they want to see sprint cars live and in person. So like
Yeah.
a lot of those places that he go, like you come to Riverside, it may hurt you a little bit because we always get sprint cars.
Yeah.
But like Hattiesburg, for instance, they don't ever get sprint cars, and so
Right.
the pits are full of people, the stands are full of people, and the standing room only because they don't have a big grandstand. But everybody, both nights were that way. It wasn't like one night, like you know most places you go to, Friday night be a little light, Saturday would pick up. Friday and Saturday are both people were everywhere, you know,
Mm,
for
That's
that.
good.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it is good, and he does do a good job promoting locally. You know, we've talked about that before on the podcast.
Oh yeah, it's like he's really.
He
good
does
at that.
really good about bringing in a crowd, even
Well,
with
that's really all that matters. As long as he's bringing in the crowd,
yeah.
then the people that are complaining are not him. I mean,
Yeah.
like Brad just said, he's not complaining about it as long as the crowd fills up. So
Mhm.
if I kind of see both sides of it. I mean, if you're
Well, I got to complain about something.
well,
Hang on.
I can see people that want to keep up with their drivers where they're at, how they're doing,
Yeah.
having an option for that. But I can also see if the grandstands are full, why break a system that's already
Yeah.
working, or potentially take away from your crowd? Which that's the argument, and I mean that's happening all over. All of sports media is talking about like if it's worth streaming or not because crowds
Yeah.
have been down. The reason crowds are down too is because money's tight.
Mhm.
Somebody made the comment. I saw this on Facebook the other day, and I can't remember it word for word, but basically it was like, you know, my grandson. If you're not streaming it, my grandson's watching something else.
The Chaz shared that. I did.
Was
see
that what
Mhm.
Chaz shared? Yeah, he was like, if it's not being streamed, then it's not out there
He doesn't.
promoting.
Yeah,
and
he
I
doesn't know
can't
you're
show
out.
my. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't basically doesn't know it exists if it's not being streamed.
Mhm.
Well, maybe you should get your fat grandkid out and carry him to the racetrack.
Dang.
Take his phone away, and throw it in the trash can or something, and take
Yeah.
him to the dadgum racetrack.
Yeah.
I did.
This is America.
Well, look, the only reason I brought that up
Selling
was
it to the
because I was
Chinese.
told we don't talk about it. And I'm thinking, well, I can't talk about what I can't see. So
Well, that's
the
true.
argument,
That is true.
You
But,
know.
but
I don't
there
mind
is some
talking about it.
responsibility. I mean, how many? We do have some responsibility to go find it, to talk about it. But
Yeah.
when it comes to local tracks, we got it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do what we got to do. But like,
Well, don't take us wrong, but I'm not driving all the way to Hattiesburg.
exactly, unless
You
I'm
know, to
down
watch.
there. Unless I'm down there,
Yeah,
I'm
to
not
watch.
going.
Like I'll be honest, I don't like going to the races. I like
I
going.
do.
I like going if I'm running. But honestly, if I ain't racing, I guess it's just because I'm spoiled. I've been
No, I'm the
I've,
same.
I've
I'm
raced all
it's-
these
I say
years.
It's the racer.
I'm,
in
a
you.
true, I'm the only true race fan in the room.
I'm the same way. Like it's hard to
Yeah.
go. It's hard to go watch other people do
Yeah.
what you want to be out
Even
there
at
doing.
Riverside, it hurts my soul to sit there in the infield and watch everybody else going around.
I love it.
I mean it really did. It hurt me to sit there and watch everybody else racing, and I'm just sitting there and like, well, I get something to talk about on the podcast. Like it kind of sucks.
Not for me.
Yeah.
I love sitting on the infield at Riverside.
That
Yeah.
post said, "Streaming doesn't kill racetracks. Being invisible does. If a 14-year-old can't watch your track online, he's watching something else." And there is some truth to being invisible.
There's some truth to that, but I promise when my boy's 14, he's
Probably gonna be at the race.
he's gonna be doing something. Whether it's racing or not, I mean, I don't care what he's into. But
Yeah.
when he's 14, he's not gonna be sitting on his phone or on his
Mhm.
computer or on his PlayStation
Never say
watching something. No, he won't.
never.
He
No,
won't.
you're not the parent that says never, are you?
I can say never on that because we're going,
Oh,
and
boy.
he ain't staying at home.
Yeah. Part of me.
If I'm
actually
going
really
and
believes
his
you, though.
mama's going, he's going.
Part of me really believes you. You just have to meet all the Phillips family. I actually, I kind of.
Oh, I believe Bo when he
I
says
think-
you won't be on any.
I think if anybody
any
else said it, I wouldn't
devices.
believe him as
I
much.
believe
But after
him.
meeting your family, it's kind of like, yeah, I guess I could probably believe it.
I mean, that's not even a hard one though. Like, at least catch me on something that's really tough.
if we've learned anything about Bo, he's not going to BS us. Like if he says it, he's
Nope.
probably going to do it.
Yep, he is. He's definitely going to do it. But yeah, that was just kind of my rant on that deal. It's like, well, I would love to, but we just talk about whatever's the most interesting. Like as much as he hated to talk about some stock car race a couple weeks ago, it was the most interesting thing that happened. Wasn't nothing else happening at the time.
And I mean, for me, it's not that I don't want to watch the USCS. They were actually when they went to that Southern Raceway. Hunt the Front owns that now.
Mhm.
They were on Hunt the Front, but I'm not buying another subscription to watch because I knew people racing down there. And like I wanted to check it out, but I'm not going to pay for Hunt the Front
Yeah.
to do that. Like I said, you got to be on the two big ones for you to catch visibility. For me, unless I'm racing one of them, then I might get it for a month.
I'd say
to
one of
see it.
my favorite places to go. Like typically, like I hardly ever get to sit down and actually watch the races very often. It's not very common, but X is really good for race updates. I don't know about you, but like I can go to X and see all the racing updates. Everybody posts on there.
Sprint
It's pretty
car
good.
ratings or stats
Yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that.
There's
They
a lot of
post
sprint car
stuff.
pages on there. I guess I got to get in the late model stuff now. I can't be one sided on the sprint car thing anymore. But yeah, I mean you can see all the race updates on there. I don't miss anything when I get on Twitter. And heck, they'll post like a lot of videos and replays of something that happens. So like I get all my updates on X.
'Cause they had some good late model drama too. If you keep up with the late model world, something we could have talked about.
Yeah.
But it's
Yes.
mostly with Bubba. Bubba the Love Sponge had a beef with Flow Racing. Most was a big.
What was
thing.
that about?
Well, so after
Dang, I guess I'm gonna be a late model guy. I guess
So-
I have to. I guess
so
I really got
after-
to start.
so
brushing up on
after the races are over, it was back when they were doing Volusia every night for the Dirt Car Nationals. So all the Flow guys were there: Ben Shelton, Michael Rigsby, Dustin Jarrett, and somebody else. And so they were all there because they were already going to be in Florida because Lucas Oil was starting up the next week and stuff. So they were there just watching. And so they do a after the race ride home or something. So they're all in the car, two in the back seat, two in the front seat, and they go live and they discuss and talk about the night. And they said that after this week's action that Volusia is now the crown jewel of Florida.
Mm.
So, you know, that's World Racing Group owned, Dirt Vision owned track.
Mhm.
Well, Alltech in Florida, Bubba's Racetrack Ocala, and Golden Isles, which is right on the Florida line, they're all Lucas Oil Flow racing tracks.
Mhm.
And so Bubba Clem's big thing is like, you know, what the hell? That's your competition. You're giving your competition a platform, you know, basically telling them that our tracks aren't worth it. You need to go watch the World Racing Group Dirt Vision tracks. Like, you know, he took offense to that. And Michael Rigsby,
I can kind of see that.
and Michael Rigsby, he used to own Dirt on Dirt. That was where he got his start. That was where they kind of built up their brand. They would, you know, do live shows. They would live stream races, late model races and stuff. And so he sold Dirt on Dirt. Flo bought Dirt on Dirt. And so Bubba Clem was on his show this morning talking about it. And he was like, you know, Michael Rigsby told me, well, you know, we built the brand Dirt on Dirt. We built the brand Dirt on Dirt. We built it by saying what we really thought. We didn't pull any punches. We just told you exactly how we felt about things. And Bubba Clem's argument was, well, once you sold to Flow Racing for 7 figures, that no longer matters. You are bought and paid for at this point.
fact.
Yeah.
Like you have to toe the company line. You don't get to say what you want to anymore. You're bought and paid for now. Is basically what Bubba Clem's
Unless
argument
you put it in that
was.
contract.
Yeah.
And so then Derek Kissinger come back, and he was part of the original Dirt on Dirt, him and Michael Rigsby. And he's talked about how Bubba Clem told Bubba Clem that was BS, what he was saying. And he said, actually, it was 8 figures that they bought Dirt on Dirt for. Actually, it was 8 figures they bought the Dirt on Dirt for. So, yeah, they had some good little Flow Racing, Bubba Clem drama going on the last couple of days. So, they actually, but Ben Shelton did do an interview with Bubba Clem. And Bubba, like, if you ever watched his show, like, he doesn't pull any punches. Like, he tells you what he thinks. And he was doing that interview that away. And Ben Shelton kept trying to, like, chum it up. Oh, you know, we love you, Bubba. We know you love you. And Bubba was kind of like, well, yeah, Ben, but listen, like, I get it. But listen, this is what I'm telling you. You're wrong here. Oh, we still love you, Bubba. He wasn't like, he didn't want to get it. He didn't want to take it. It didn't seem like he wanted to take it serious, but Bubba was taking it very serious when he was talking about it. So,
Well, that's definitely some fine lines you got to walk. You got to have that in the contract these days.
Yeah.
I mean, there might not be wrong with that statement, but at the same time, if your brand is not aligned, I don't know. A lot of things that hits close to home. Just thinking about all the brand lately that I've been thinking about and trying to promote brands, and you know, if you ain't a part of the brand, it's like a club.
Yeah.
You know, and if you in the club member, see ya. I don't care if you do have the best,
Well,
whatever.
That's a good little transition because as you can tell, if you're watching this, we have our first official sponsor of the podcast, of the Letter Eat podcast. Driven Racing Oil has hopped on board for the Letter Eat podcast and the IHRA, it's the late model sportsman class for this year. Boy, that's weird to say, but super excited about that deal. I was out here washing the car the other day, and or I guess today's Monday. It was yesterday. I was in here washing the car, and it's like I'm going through my box of stuff that they sent me to show me, and I used this wax right here, and I put it on the windshield too. And I drove it down the road in the rain. I didn't have to have windshield wipers on. I was like, man, how cool is that?
Good stuff.
Yeah, and but anyway, they've got not just racing oil with engine oil or anything like that. They've got cleaners. Like I said, we got cleaners, wax. We got lube here, multi-purpose lube. They got all kinds of stuff. And if you get online and you go to drivenracingoil.com and you put in the promo code Hanks10, you get 10% off your order. So go to drivenracingoil.com.
We wanted to get some of this
Yeah.
because we needed this to clean the car over the weekend.
Yeah. Well, if you hey, I tell you what, if you're going to Loxley
Yeah,
this
you
weekend,
get a couple bottles.
you're
You'll
gonna
need
want
it.
some of this.
Spray it before you go out there.
Yes.
Spray it after you go out there.
Well, spray. You need to get it right now, and you need to go put it on the car before you ever even put it in the trailer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then-
this is for after the race.
yes, that's for after.
That's for
Yeah.
after. speed clean, foaming cleaner, and
Yeah.
degreaser.
Heck yes. But yeah, we're definitely excited about that. We appreciate Driven, what they're doing for us. And but yeah, definitely go get you some of that race wax. It works pretty good. Looks really good. No, the old
Yeah.
Impala looks the
And if
best I've
you're
seen it in a
look,
long time.
if you're from around here, there's no reason you shouldn't be using these products because this is in your hood.
Yeah.
And around here would be the Mid South area. You
Yeah.
know, we're up in Burleson right now, but Memphis area.
Yep.
You need to get on this stuff.
That's right. That's the stuff to have. All right, well, back to topics. Was there any other topics you wanted to, anything specific? I had saw where the drama with Ford and Macedo. We kind of talked about that for a second right
Yeah,
before we started
I-
recording, but
Yeah, I didn't remember much about it. I saw where Dirt Tracker had mentioned that it was on a die cast that got released. There was a Ford logo on it, and people started noticing it. Then it got taken down.
yeah, it just had the racing on
Yeah, now
there.
it just still has the racing on
Mhm.
there, and so I guess
But on the pre-order, it was still. I think it was still on there on the pre-order deal or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't think they had quite gotten it off yet, but rumor has it basically Ford's kind of easing out of the picture, which is weird because
well, the way I thought Dirt Tracker made it sound is they were trying to get back in it with Carson Macedo, but they were still waiting on parts. They couldn't get parts, which
Yeah.
is they said was the same old story
Yeah.
for everybody else
Well,
that had dealt with it. so.
that too, I could believe that too because whenever we were running Ford engines, but this was 2018, something like that, and 2018 we blew up 9 times. Okay,
I remember that. Yeah.
the Fords were mean until they weren't, and getting parts was ridiculous because we talked about that last week when Dad was in here, and they were a lot more expensive and they were harder to come by, you know. So I could believe that too. I don't know. I've heard a couple rumors about it. I saw was it Dirt Tracker? I can't
With
remember.
Dirt Tracker.
Dirt Tracker had
Because
said something about it.
originally Shaver was running the Ford program, and now he said that Kistler had picked it up, and they were going to be to get people
Mhm.
taking the Ford program over. But I guess, like you said, they couldn't. Still, were having trouble getting parts for them, so they haven't been able to put them on the track or get them together at all. So it'd be interesting to see if especially if Macedo is still running really good like he is right now. If he's top 3 in points, can you make that change as into the season?
Well, I can tell you.
I mean, I'd be tough for me to.
I
wanna
can
pull
tell
the
you
trigger on it.
firsthand, and Shots kind of showed it to us last year. The Ford changes how the car handles. So if they put Fords on the car, it's probably going to handle different. They're going to have to basically relearn.
Well, Justin Peck, they were on that Ford program. They struggled a lot, and they worked with him a lot. And they kept doing different head combinations to get the feel that he wanted because he said his Fords would react different than what he was used to.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally found a set of heads that would react the way he wanted it to. And he started he reeled off like 2 or 3 wins out of 5 races.
Mm-hmm.
But then they blew it up and they couldn't ever get that same combo back on the track. So then they just struggled the rest of the season after that. And so they said, like, if you can get them to work on it and get them to where the feel you want, then they look pretty fast. But, getting there, I guess, is the big deal with most of those teams.
Yeah. Well, again, like with the rumors, what kind of had got my mind whirling a little bit as I saw, like, the NASCAR side of stuff, like there's only 2 Fords in like the Xfinity series.
Yeah,
the
the O'Reilly
So,
series. Is
you know,
only 2.
used
There's
to-
only 5 trucks. There's only 5 Ford trucks.
Yeah, front row. And I remember like
It's
when
2,
Lil Ricky
2 companies, Front Row and
I can't remember the other one.
okay,
But either way, Thor Sport.
ThorSport. That's it.
And I just remember when Lil Ricky was coming up, there was like this big thing about the Ford program, had a bunch of young drivers in it, and they were basically they had like this pipeline where they were pushing all these guys up toward the truck, Xfinity, the Cup, and all that stuff. And Ricky was a part of that program. And it's kind of like Toyota is now.
Mhm.
I just wonder like how or why that all just disappeared. And so I didn't know if maybe Ford just not putting as much money or putting as much, effort into all this, or why, or maybe they're just in a really bad slump, or what's going on. But I can tell you their sprint car side has a lot. It's got a lot of work. They got a lot of work ahead of them if they're going to compete.
Mhm.
They were awesome when they first come out. They were especially the 360 boy. That thing, I'm telling you, it was way meaner than anything else on the racetrack. Couldn't get it turned in the corner, but that son of a gun, it would motor down the straightaway like it was nobody's business. But yeah, they got some work to do. Shout out to the newest ASCS winner, 15 years
Levi
old,
Hillier.
Levi Hillier. He's the second youngest
Mhm.
to win on the national tour out in Arizona.
Yep.
He beat his teammate,
Yep. Beat Justin Peck
Justin Peck.
and Sam Haperteeth, which
And
is like
Sam
the
Haperteeth.
goat of 360.
He started kind of fading. You know,
Yeah,
Justin got up there.
Well, his big piece of mud hit his. He has one of those shields that clamp in the front,
Mhm.
and a big piece of mud hit it, and it broke the clamp, so his shield wouldn't stay shut. So he was having issues seeing the last 10 or 12 laps of the race. That's how he faded back there.
Oh, Sam, you can't drive with one hand. Really, as good as you are, I mean, heck, you might as well. After all these years of experience and beating up on all these guys, I don't know why you can't just drive with one hand and hold that sucker down.
Yeah, going.
You know how many times I've had to do this?
110.
You know how many times have you ripped off all your tear offs off at once? Have you done
I
that?
can't say I've ever done that.
What?
Maybe
Oh, I've done that
maybe
at
back in
least-
the beginning, but I can't
Shoot,
say.
I've done that at least. I've done that probably at least 20 times. It's
No.
happened a bunch of times. Well,
No.
like on mine, the little deal that holds it on, like it would come loose and it would
Mhm.
just start turning during the
Yeah.
race, and I'd rip all them suckers off. I can't tell you how many times I'd be going down the straightaway like this and sitting for the corner and
Yeah.
trying to keep mud from hitting me in the face.
I'd
and-
pull in.
Oh no,
I would.
no,
Telling you right
Dude,
now.
dude! I was running the Ironman.
If I can't see and if I don't have a brake, I might as well just pull in.
Dude, I was
'cause-
running the Ironman 55 at Peevely. This was maybe 4 years ago. I don't remember. And freaking, I was really tight, and I was basically riding the brake to get this thing to turn. My butt was so darn hot. I mean, it felt like I was on fire, and it was lap 31, and I wound. I still made it to the finish. When I got out of that car, though, I couldn't wait for that race to be over. I was on fire. I better be in trouble when I would pull over and quit. That was probably my problem. A lot of my problem. But but anyhow, but yeah, that was a pretty good race. Wyatt Miller made his first starts in the sprint car.
He's made some good laps out
Yeah.
That
there.
car looks
He's had some issues. but-
fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I like
probably
that
a
car.
$20,000 wrap on it
No,
because they can
yeah.
afford it.
Yeah. I
It's a
think it's the
good-looking car.
the team is called One Way. Did they have affiliation with the motor people?
No, I think it's a different. I think
Okay.
it's a different. I think it's different people. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure because
I
I
don't know.
I saw that.
I don't
looked
know
into
anything
it.
about it. I just saw the press release. And
Yeah.
I fell in love
Well,
with the car.
yeah, the car is sharp, but I mean, how was he? Like 14?
I mean, Buddy
15,
is
I think.
losing the
15?
championship
No,
right now.
that may be somebody. I'm not
Yep.
thinking about the same thing.
Man, that is tough.
Yeah, he's out there for the features out there right now, buddy.
Something they just pulled back in.
Yeah, he broke in the last chance, took the provisional, then the A, and he's broke again.
I mean, it's going to be, what does it say currently?
40. Does that say 40?
No, it just says 4.
4 points?
Yeah, just 4 points. All right, yeah, I don't know.
I
It
can't
either
tell.
said 4 or 41.
Ah, dang, it's gone now. I think it was 4 points. I think you're right. I couldn't see it. But yeah, buddy's in the infield now.
That's massive.
Yeah.
You let David Gravel get out in front, it's going to be hard to get him back.
Oh yeah, because they don't make any mistakes.
No.
They won't have any.
They're going to qualify up front every night.
Yep. Yeah, that's a shame. Tony's early announcement was pretty funny. Saw that.
Car Quest deal. That was
Yeah, the
pretty
Car
good.
Quest for Rico's car, that was pretty good. Rico's probably like one of the best in the business when it
They're
comes to
really-
brands. When it
yeah,
comes to
they
brands
really-
doing stuff like that, Rico's probably
Yeah.
top of the line on that deal. That's pretty much all I had. I had the Cars tour on here. I know you didn't watch the Cars tour.
I saw. I will say we talked about Natalie Decker getting on Carson Elledge.
Yeah.
Like we'd like to reiterate that Natalie Decker does not want to fight Carson Elledge because whoever that dude was, she like grabbed him by the shoulder
Oh, I
and yanked
know.
him back.
I
I was
know.
like, oh damn, yeah,
I-
Natalie
well,
Decker would
I
go
told
down.
y'all. What did I say to y'all in that text message? we thought it was somebody else. We said, oh, we thought it was Taylor. We thought she was talking about Taylor.
Yeah, I knew she was talking about Carson Ellis.
And
I
I
knew she had a
said-
nose ring and
Yeah.
tattoos.
Well, I didn't think about that. I said, oh, she don't want none of Taylor.
'Cause
Taylor beat the
Carson
brakes
Ellis
off
said the
her.
craziest stuff about her. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
out in the open kind
Yeah.
of deal.
Yeah, no, she. I think Carson would beat the brakes off of her and
Oh,
laugh
yeah.
about it. While she
Yeah,
was doing
while
it.
she was doing
Because
it,
whoever that dude
probably.
was, she yanked his ass back. I was like,
It
"Oh,
was,
Natalie, you might want to calm down
was,
over there,
uh,
girl."
It was Doug Barnes, and he. I mean, kind of rightfully so. He was pissed off. I mean,
He got stuff in the wall.
Caden
Yeah.
Quapple.
Yeah.
I saw the hot replay of it or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, Caden Quapple pretty much put him in the fence, and I
Yeah.
mean, and Doug had a amazing run. So like Southern National, I've been watching a lot of Cars Tour races, trying to study up because I don't know what I'm fixing to get into. But anyhow, so I'm watching this race, and it's clearly the bottom. Like there's nowhere else to go. You could run the second lane, but the bottom was just by far more dominant. And Doug on this last restart, so they pick and choose which line they want to be in too, just like the Cup Series does. And well, Doug chooses outside, and they said I don't know who he is. I don't know all these people, but apparently he's pretty good there. Won some track championships there. That's his place, you know. And anyway, so they get a restart. He comes out of turn 2, and I mean he is like this far. So like Caden's front fender was right there
Mm.
going into turn 3, and he didn't quite clear him, and he gave him room, didn't crowd him none. And they come off turn 4, and I mean, Caden it acted like he wasn't even there and stuffed him right in the fence.
Mm.
And
Should have crowded him.
should have crowded him. Well, I think he wrecked him anyways. If he'd have
Probably.
crowded him, he'd have
Yeah,
run
if he
into him
crowded him,
anyway.
he'd hit that quarter, and then
Yeah,
it would've been
he
over
probably would have spun him out and he'd been worse shape. He still finished 3rd, knocked the toe out and everything. But yeah, watching him go over there in Victory Lane, I thought, yeah, he kind of has this coming. And then I saw Carson rip him off. And I thought, yeah. And see, that right there is kind of what worries me about women racing with guys. Because like if a girl was to, if you had issues with a girl out there on a racetrack, and she smokes you, what are you supposed to do?
Smoke her back.
well,
If a woman wants to play a man's game, then she gonna play by the man's
Well,
rules.
well, you and I may think that, but at the same time, that's not what the world thinks. You
Yeah,
know,
I
I
don't
the
mean,
know.
world,
Dad gun.
everybody that sits there and watches that happen on their phone, they're gonna go,
Well, she should be better.
It's funny you say that because some clip was getting passed around. Maybe it was being used as a meme today. It was Danica when she was getting on Denny Hamlin.
Yeah,
And I'd be Denny Hamlin. He was trying to like, hey,
Yeah.
calm
Yeah.
down. She was
Yeah.
being pissed. Like that would be me. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't.
She
Even if she
was-
punched me, like
she
I
was
couldn't hit her
grabbing-
back.
Well, like I saw a video of Natalie talking about Natalie Decker. She just took
She
some
did, yeah,
dude's hat
slung
off
her
and
hat.
threw it, and he just stands there like, really? And yeah.
Oh,
And
that was a
imagine
funny
if
clip.
a guy had done that, it'd been on, you know. But you're just supposed to stand there and take it because it's a girl. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Privilege.
So, yeah, that's yeah. So,
But it doesn't matter. I mean,
I mean,
you
that
look at
goes to the same
though.
thing with kids in racing. They're like, well, if Levi
True.
Hillier takes me out, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
Like,
I can't go up there and knock him
smack a
out.
15
Go
year
hit
old,
him.
you know?
He wants to play a man's game.
I
Play by
mean,
the
yeah,
man's
I
rules.
agree.
No,
Like, once you-
no, you just walk up
Yeah.
to him and go, "Where's your daddy at?" And just go up there and just knock his daddy out.
Jesus Christ, you're a big bag.
Maybe I guess that's what you gotta do for the woman. Too. I guess you just where's your
Just want
daddy
to tell you, I
at?
messed up back there. That's a Rodney Carrington
Yeah.
joke if you've never heard it before.
Yeah, you pull up next to him, you son of a
You're a big bastard.
I just want to tell you I screwed up back there. We need to go. I want to go see Rodney again. He doesn't get old.
Oh, man.
Is he coming to Tunica anytime soon?
I don't know. I'd have to look at his.
We need
He
to-
has a
I'll have
tour
to go
coming
down to
up.
Austin to find him.
Well, you know, he actually comes around here quite a bit. I got tickets to go see him in Jackson one night. Me and Brad went. Was that 3 years ago now?
Yeah, probably about 3,
I think
4
it was
years
3 years ago for my
3 or
birthday.
4.
He and I just went down there and watched him at the casino, and I mean, he funny as ever.
Yeah, he
you
was
know,
good.
I think I've seen him 3 times now, and it's never the same thing. He does something
Yeah,
different
it's
every
good.
time. It's hilarious
Yep.
every time. But that's like Brad and I's like thing. We laugh about Rodney Carrington jokes. But anyway, that's about all I got, boys. What about y'all? You got
That's
anything
it for
else?
me.
That's it. I want to
Where
give
are we
a,
at?
I want to give a shout out to let's see 2, 4, 6, So Scotty Thiel, that man has made, I think, every show. Nobody picked him as rookie of the year. Everybody's been picking Emerson Axum, but he's been running the best out of the rookies. Right now, he's running 7th.
He was like one of the
Sixth
last
now.
ones to qualify earlier, and
He
he
qualified
in
in
the
the
top
top
10.
10. Yeah,
you
he's impressed me because I didn't think he would be that good either. So right now, Kofoid is 5th in points with 48 back. That's
Oh man, that's terrible.
That's gonna
Macedo
be-
was 5 back. Macedo's leading right now with gravel in second.
and so now Scotty Thiel's up to 6. Like he's been
Yeah,
he's been running the best out of all the rookies so
yeah, he's
far.
been looking really good.
And I don't think
Hodge-
I didn't expect that. I mean, he's got a lot of experience, but still, you come out here for the first time, you don't expect that.
Hodden Shields stepped on the gas too this weekend. I wasn't
Yeah, I watched the
thrilled with like their first week.
I watched
Malaysia, but
the
they've been good since.
I watched the podcast he did. Jeremy Elliott, Kyle Ripper did, and he said that we've got some stuff figured out. I feel very confident going into this week. And
Yeah.
it showed. They've been way better this
Yeah,
time around.
yeah, he looked a lot better last night. Of course, he ran away with it. Now Gravel just took the lead from Macedo. But how many laps is left? Can you tell? Can you see what that is? It's kind of hard to see at this angle.
11 out
11
of
out of
25.
25?
Yeah.
Okay, so we still got a ways to go.
I
in there.
officially have a 2013 vision. I had to get my DOT physical the other
Oh,
day.
really?
Yeah, 2013.
I
Can't
was
hear.
just-
I can't hear nothing, but I got good eyes.
I was just telling Bo, and I don't know, like, how far away do you think that TV is?
10 feet.
Is it 10 feet? So, like, I was typing in when we were sitting here waiting on Brad. I have to put in, like, when I create the broadcast or whatever, I make, like, what the name of the podcast is going to be and all that stuff. And I got my keyboard and my mouse and stuff right here, and I was sitting there trying to make it out. And I had to have Bo. I'm like, can you tell me if that's exactly what I typed out? Like, I know what I typed out, but, like, make sure that's right. I can kind of see it, but my vision's not, like, I can't see it. It's real tiny from here.
Oh, also something else I wanted to touch on. My Spencer Baston prediction is I took
Yeah.
my victory lap the first night, but
Yeah,
I'm not feeling,
he's kind of fell off.
I'm not feeling so hot about my prediction right now.
Yeah, and that,
Well, I was not going to say anything about it, but my guy, Dason Persley, did finish 4th last night.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know where he's at right now.
He didn't get a good start tonight. He qualified pretty bad, but he went out really
Hey,
late too.
if we turn this thing around and we go from qualifying really good and finishing really bad to qualifying bad and finishing good, he might turn his whole career around.
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
He's currently in 20th, so it's
I
not
just
going.
can't believe you're
Where'd he
a
start
Dayton
at?
fan now.
in the back. Yeah, he started like 18th or 19th.
Austin McCall stopped on the inside. Where'd you say
I
he
mean,
started?
there's still a lot of race left.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't but halfway.
He started 15th, so
Oh, and he's lost 5 spots.
yeah, he's went
Oh,
backwards.
there's a lot of race left.
Yeah.
Let's see. Donnie Schatz, he's only up to 13th, which is surprising to me. He started 21st, I
Track's
think.
real slick. This
Yeah,
is
it's
the
super
slickest
slick.
I've seen it since they've been coming this year. Anyway, I guess we can get off here because nobody
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
us to
no,
sit
yeah.
here. Like they
And
don't want to sit here watching.
They're
us
probably
watch this
they're probably
race.
watching it themselves.
Yeah, they're
so
probably
they're
watching it
just-
They're
themselves.
probably zoned out. Like,
Yeah.
we'll just watch the race now.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I just want to
appreciate
thank
y'all watching.
Tony and my dad this weekend for helping me out. I worked their ass off this
Yeah.
week. And Tony, that wasn't the exact quote, but it was something like that. I thought picture I posted
Oh, I
it was
saw the
something like
photo.
that.
Yeah.
something to that effect.
Yeah. Well, again, shout out to Driven Race and all. We appreciate you guys, what y'all are doing for us. Guys, if you're going to Loxley this weekend, heck, if you're just going down the road this weekend, it's supposed to rain. I assure you, get you some of this race wax. It'll help you out a bunch.
Yep.
And like I said, after the fact, get you some of that cleaner, clean your car up. But anyway, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure, how many viewers we got right now, Bo?
About 4.
13.
13? Okay. Well,
We had
Yeah.
a consistent 12 to 13.
yeah, that's
most of
about
the
where we
time.
normally are. Guys, appreciate y'all watching. Look, if you haven't already, go up there, hit that like button, comment. Look, if there's 20 people in here, everybody should be able to go on up there and hitting that like button. It helps us out, helps our algorithms. If you haven't already, make sure you go subscribe to our socials. We appreciate it, guys, and we will see y'all next week.
Let her eat.
Let her eat.